Pause. Before you scroll past this, I need you to hear something that your doctor probably never said to you. Something that took most women 6 years to find out on their own. 6 years of being dismissed. 6 years of being told their labs were normal. 6 years of being handed antidepressants when what they actually needed was a referral to a rheumatologist. What I am about to share with you is not meant to scare you. It is meant to finally give you the words, the clarity, and the confidence to walk into a medical office and demand to be taken seriously. So if you have ever been told you are fine when you knew, deep in your body, that something was wrong, stay with me. This one is for you. I'll walk you through a symptom-by-symptom breakdown of all three, so you know exactly what's what and what to ask for before your next appointment. I've pulled real patient stories, real US data, and expert-backed diagnostic clues to help you figure out what your symptoms are really telling you. And if you want my downloadable symptom map, just type symptom map in the comments. I'll heart your comment and drop the link. Pause. Let us start with the truth that the medical system has been slow to admit. Sjogren Syndrome is one of the most common autoimmune diseases in the world. It affects an estimated 4 million Americans. Up to 90% of those diagnosed are women. And the average time from the first symptom to an actual diagnosis is 6 years. 6 years. Not 6 weeks. Not 6 months. 6 years of a woman walking into offices, describing real symptoms, getting real blood drawn, and being sent home with nothing. No answers. No direction. Just a suggestion to drink more water, sleep more, stress less, or see a therapist. And here is the part that makes this even more painful. Most of those women were already in stage 2 by the time anyone used the word Sjogren's. Pause. So what is Sjogren syndrome, really? Most people, when they hear the name, think of dry eyes and dry mouth. That is how it gets described in pamphlets. That is how it gets taught in basic medical education. Dry eyes. Dry mouth. Maybe some joint pain. Here is some eye drops. Good luck. But that description is not just incomplete. It is dangerously misleading. Because by the time dryness shows up, the disease has already been active in the body for years. The dryness is not the beginning. The dryness is a sign that you are already well into the middle stages. The real beginning looks nothing like what most women expect. Pause. Stage 1 of Sjogren syndrome is almost entirely invisible. Not invisible because it is not real. Invisible because it does not show up on basic blood work. Invisible because the symptoms mimic so many other things that doctors reach for simpler explanations first. Invisible because women have been trained, by years of being dismissed, to minimize what they feel. So let me describe stage 1 in plain language. Not medical language. Plain, honest, everyday language. You wake up tired. Not the kind of tired that a good night of sleep fixes. The kind of tired that is sitting in your bones before your feet even hit the floor. The kind of tired that makes you wonder, quietly, if something is wrong with you. But you push through. You make the coffee. You show up. Because that is what you do. Then there is the brain fog. You are in the middle of a sentence and the word you need just disappears. You walk into a room and cannot remember why. You read the same paragraph 3 times and nothing sticks. You start to wonder if you are getting older faster than you should. You joke about it because joking is easier than worrying. But somewhere underneath the joke, you are a little scared. Then there is the joint pain. Not in one place. Not the kind of pain that has a clear cause like an old injury or a specific movement. It moves. It shows up in your fingers one morning, your knees the next day, your shoulders the week after. It comes and goes. It waxes and wanes. And because it does not stay in one place, it is easy for a doctor to chalk it up to stress, to inflammation from diet, to perimenopausal changes, to simply getting older. You might also notice that you are getting sick more than you used to. That small infections linger longer. That your body does not bounce back the way it once did. You might notice skin that flares up, rashes that come and go, sensitivity to the sun that you did not have before, or a general feeling that your immune system is either working too hard or not hard enough. You might notice mood changes. Anxiety that does not have an obvious source. A low-grade sadness that sits under the surface. Not depression exactly, but something heavy. Something that makes everything feel like more effort than it should. And you go to the doctor. You describe these things. And the doctor looks at your basic labs, your CBC, your metabolic panel, maybe your thyroid, and says the words that haunt so many women living with undiagnosed autoimmune disease. Everything looks normal. Pause. Here is what I want you to hear right now, clearly, without any softening. Normal basic labs do not rule out Sjogren syndrome. The specific antibodies that indicate Sjogren's, anti-SSA and anti-SSB, also called Rho and La, are not included in standard blood work panels. A doctor has to specifically order them. And unless a doctor is already thinking about Sjogren's, unless something in your presentation triggers that specific line of thinking, those tests do not get ordered. So you get sent home. Again. With normal labs. And you start to wonder if maybe they are right. Maybe you are just tired. Maybe you are just anxious. Maybe you are just someone who struggles a little more than other people. But you are not. You are someone whose disease has not been looked for properly yet. Pause. Let us talk about stage 2. Because this is where most women finally get a name for what they have been carrying. By stage 2, the disease has progressed enough that it starts to attack the moisture-producing glands directly. This is when the dryness finally arrives. And when it does not just arrive as mild discomfort. It arrives as a quality of life issue. The eyes become dry in a way that eye drops cannot fully fix. They burn. They feel gritty, like there is sand under the eyelids. Light sensitivity increases. Reading becomes uncomfortable. Screen time becomes painful. Wearing contact lenses becomes difficult or impossible. The mouth becomes dry in a way that is hard to describe to someone who has not experienced it. Swallowing becomes harder. Speaking for long periods becomes uncomfortable. Eating dry foods, bread, crackers, anything without moisture, feels like trying to swallow sand. Dental health often deteriorates rapidly during this stage because saliva is what protects the teeth from bacteria, and without it, cavities and decay accelerate in ways that feel sudden and confusing. The salivary glands, the ones just beneath the jawline and in front of the ears, may begin to swell. This can look like a mild puffiness in the face, or it can be more noticeable. Many women in stage 2 are initially told they have a jaw issue, a dental problem, or even a thyroid problem before Sjogren's is considered. Nerve-related symptoms start to emerge in stage 2 as well. Tingling in the hands and feet. Numbness that comes and goes. A crawling sensation under the skin. These are signs that the inflammation is starting to affect the nervous system. And the fatigue, which was already significant in stage 1, typically deepens in stage 2. Not because the woman is not trying hard enough, but because the body is fighting a constant internal war, and that requires an enormous amount of energy. Pause. This is also the stage where many women begin to develop secondary conditions. Sjogren's is known for traveling in company. It frequently appears alongside other autoimmune conditions like rheumatoid arthritis, lupus, fibromyalgia, Hashimoto's thyroiditis, and Raynaud's phenomenon, a condition where the blood vessels in the fingers and toes overreact to cold, turning them white or blue. If you have been diagnosed with one of these conditions and still feel like something is being missed, it is worth asking specifically about Sjogren's. Because these conditions can overlap, and treating only one of them while missing the others leaves the body continuing to fight on multiple fronts without the right support. Pause. Now let us talk about stage 3. And I want to be very careful here, because I do not want this section to frighten you. I want it to motivate you. Because stage 3 is where Sjogren's stops being a comfort and quality of life issue and becomes a whole body, organ level concern. And it is largely preventable, if the earlier stages are caught and managed properly. In stage 3, the systemic inflammation that has been building for years starts to reach organs. The kidneys can be affected, leading to a condition called renal tubular acidosis, which affects the body's ability to regulate acid levels in the blood. The lungs can become involved, causing dryness in the airways, a persistent dry cough, and in some cases, interstitial lung disease, a condition where the lung tissue becomes scarred and stiff. The nervous system can be significantly affected. Peripheral neuropathy, damage to the nerves outside the brain and spinal column, can cause pain, weakness, and coordination issues. Some women develop cranial nerve involvement, which can affect hearing, facial sensation, and vision. The liver and stomach can be involved. Lymph nodes may enlarge. And significantly, women with Sjogren syndrome have a higher risk of developing a type of lymphoma called non-Hodgkin's lymphoma compared to the general population, which is one of the most important reasons that ongoing monitoring and proper management of this disease is not optional. It is essential. Stage 3 is not a death sentence. Women with stage 3 Sjogren's live full, meaningful lives with the right medical team and the right treatment approach. But it is a reality that deserves to be spoken plainly, because too many women reach this stage without ever having been told that stage 1 even existed. Pause. So let us come back to you. Right now. Wherever you are listening to this. Maybe you recognized yourself in stage 1. The fatigue. The brain fog. The joint pain that moves around. The feeling that something is wrong that you cannot quite name and that nobody around you seems to take seriously. Maybe you recognized yourself in stage 2. The dryness that has finally arrived. The dental work that keeps piling up. The eyes that burn by the end of every day. The glands that swell. The tingling in your hands that you have been Googling at midnight. Maybe you are already in stage 3 and you are listening to this because you finally have a name for what you have been fighting and you are trying to understand what comes next. Wherever you are not alone. And you are not crazy. And you are not dramatic. You are a woman whose body has been sending signals for a long time, and you deserve to have those signals taken seriously. Pause. Now let us talk about what you can actually do. Because information without action is just anxiety. And I do not want to leave you with anxiety. I want to leave you with a plan. Step 1. Ask for the right blood work. When you go to your doctor, whether it is your primary care doctor, your gynecologist, your internist, whoever you see most regularly, use these exact words. Write them down if you need to. I would like to be tested for ANA, anti-SSA antibodies, and anti-SSB antibodies. I have been experiencing fatigue, brain fog, and joint pain that I cannot explain, and I want to rule out an autoimmune condition. ANA stands for antinuclear antibody. It is a broad screening test for autoimmune activity. A positive ANA does not mean you have Sjogren's, it just means the immune system is showing unusual activity and further testing is warranted. Anti-SSA and anti-SSB are the specific antibodies most associated with Sjogren syndrome. They are not expensive tests. They are not complicated tests. They simply need to be ordered. Step 2. Track your symptoms before your appointment. Doctors work better when they have specifics. Vague descriptions like "I am just really tired" are easy to dismiss. Specific patterns are harder to ignore. Before your appointment, spend a few days writing down your symptoms, when they occur, how long they last, and how they affect your daily life. Note if you have dry eyes or dry mouth, even mildly. Note joint pain and where it occurs. Note how your fatigue feels compared to normal tiredness. The more specific you are, the harder it is to be sent home with a wellness pamphlet. Step 3. Do not go alone if you can help it. Women are dismissed more frequently in medical settings when they are alone. This is a documented reality, not a personal failing. If you have a partner, a friend, a family member who can come with you and advocate alongside you, bring them. A second voice in the room changes the dynamic. Step 4. Ask for a referral to a rheumatologist. Even if your initial blood work comes back negative, if your symptoms align with what I have described today, you have every right to ask for a referral to a rheumatologist, a doctor who specializes in autoimmune and inflammatory conditions. Sjogren's can be seronegative, meaning the antibodies do not show up in the blood even when the disease is present. A rheumatologist has additional diagnostic tools, including salivary gland biopsies, Schumann's tests for tear production, and imaging studies that can detect gland involvement even when blood work is inconclusive. Step 5. Trust yourself. This is the hardest step for many women. Because years of being dismissed can erode your confidence in your own perception of your body. But your body is not lying to you. Your symptoms are real. Your instinct that something is wrong is worth honoring. You are allowed to push for answers. You are allowed to seek a second opinion. You are allowed to say, "I hear that my labs are normal, and I still believe something is wrong, and I would like to keep looking." That is not being difficult. That is being a good advocate for yourself. And you deserve that advocacy. Pause. Let me leave you with something I want you to carry with you. Sjogren syndrome is called the silent disease for a reason. It moves quietly. It disguises itself as exhaustion and aging and stress. It hides behind normal lab results. It waits until women have been dismissed so many times that they stop asking. But you are still asking. The fact that you listened to this, all the way through, means you have not given up. And that matters. You might be at stage 1, catching this earlier than most women ever do. You might be at stage 2, finally putting a name to something that has been nameless for years. You might be at stage 3, building a new relationship with your body and your health team. Wherever you are, the next step is the same. Ask the question. Request the test. Trust your body. Keep going. You are not alone in this. 4 million women are walking this road. Many of them did not find out until much later than you. You are already ahead, because you know what to look for now. Pause. Share this with one woman in your life today. A friend who is always tired. A sister who keeps getting told her labs are fine. A coworker who jokes about her brain fog but you can see it worries her. A mother who has been dismissed one too many times. You might be the reason she finally gets answers. And that is the kind of thing that changes lives. Pause. Take care of yourself. You deserve it.